Dean, are tariffs inflationary?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Why? Who pays for tariffs? Not the company that you are tariffing. So let's use the favorite example. China exports stuff to us and then we tariff them, right? We as an importer of Chinese goods pay for the tariffs, not China. I think that's what the most important fact that people need to understand is that the company exporting the product does not pay for the tariff.
To be fair, my guess is in the long term, it probably comes out to about 50-50. But I mean, still, like, a lot of it is passed on to the consumer, of course. Stop.
How it works is this. They put stuff on a boat. It arrives here. When the company that imports it and distributes and sells it, let's say Costco, whatever, the distributor, goes to the port and takes it, they pay for the tariff there.
At the port.
At the port, yeah. It's all clear, when you clear customs.
Okay.
It's collected there. And basically what happens is when the product reaches the shelves, it's more expensive now. So what would...
So there's more cost to get
Well, it's like I did that example before, right? Okay, you buy a t-shirt for $10 without tariffs, right? And you sell it here for 12, right? Mm-hmm. When you tariff China $2 on that, then it's going to cost you $12 to get here. You're not going to sell it at zero profit. You're going to have to bump the price up.
Thoughts on MSBC blaming sexist Latinos versus Mexico electing female left-wing president last month with the highest vote percentage in their history. That was kind of a sentence. Everybody's going to want to paint this with their pet issue. I think. I need a lot of data to move me off that point now. Okay. Price high, vote other guy. That was it. I don't think it was because of sexism. I don't think it was because of any of that. I think it was just price high, vote other guy.
I know, but everyone says in the comments that believe this whole tariff thing, then we should be buying American-made t-shirts.
Yeah, okay.
We grow cotton here anyway.
That's a fallacious argument, though. Okay, what is your cost of living here? What is your cost of labor here compared to China? How are you going to pay people to make that t-shirt at the same price that they make it in China? It's impossible. And what's the result of that, right? You pass the price increase on the cost of labor, the cost of everything that's more expensive here, regulatory costs, taxes, all that kind of stuff. It costs more to make things here, which is why we only make certain kinds of things here. We don't make t-shirts here anymore. What do we make? An airplane. What do we make? We make
American-made cars. We do make them. Well, actually, no, I think we make them in Mexico.
We'll do final stage of assembly or higher value add parts to it, basically.
It's cheaper.
Why does my Stream Deck keep unplugging and plugging back in? Stop making that noise. Stop doing that.
Yeah, that's the whole point. So the whole thing that people have to understand about manufacturing, like, oh, you tariff, they're gonna... No, the world, economic,
Brandon is actually 100% correct. I'm still in that talking point. Tariffs, by definition, have to be inflationary because that's literally their job. The whole point of a tariff is to make a product more expensive so you won't buy it versus another product. If tariffs weren't inflationary, they wouldn't be things. They wouldn't exist. There'd be no purpose in having it. The whole point of a tariff is to say, buy my product, not theirs, because there's a higher tax associated with it. It has to be inflationary, definitionally.
The best manner in which for all countries in the world is to trade with each other. It's this concept of competitive advantage. You have low cost of labor in this country, or you have a lot of natural resources.
I feel like tariffs would help the low-class, unskilled labor forces a lot more. It will not help them, and they need to suffer for it. I'm so sorry, and it sounds mean, but working-class people, they need to suffer for a little bit. You're getting a job that might pay you $1 an hour more isn't going to offset the fact that your car is going to be more expensive, that your clothes are going to be more expensive, that your food is going to be more expensive, that home repairs are going to be more expensive, that constructing anything is going to be more expensive, that every single thing you buy in the country is going to be more expensive. And if you think that you making $1 or $2 an hour more out of a wage is going to offset that, then get fucked. You should suffer for a little bit. And then after a while, you'd be like, oh, maybe there is something to this globalist thing. Maybe having people that can make things cheaper than we can, maybe that is better. Maybe I do like to have more money. Maybe I do like to be able to afford clothes and shit for my kids for cheaper amounts. Maybe, you know? But I mean, like, the problem is nobody sees that. If one factory goes down and every single person starts saving 10% a month on all the shit they buy, the only thing people see is that the factory went down. That's it. So I mean, like, it sounds mean, but I mean, like, people need to have Oh, hey, what's up? People need to understand what's happening when you're voting for things, and you need to see like the impacts of what you're voting for. What's going on? Why does this keep plugging in and plugging in? I'm not even touching it. Stop! Why are you doing this? What? What? One more time, I dare you. I dare you. I double dog dare you. Why can't America own the means of their own production? Because you don't have enough people. You don't have enough people. You don't have enough people. You can't build every single thing. And because you want to build other things, you want to build cooler things, right? Would you rather be making widgets or would you rather be making cars? Would you rather have computer programmers or would you rather have more people working in lithium mines with a pickaxe, right? Like you... I feel so stupid. These are just like, it's the actual Econ 101 stuff. That's not like, well, this is Econ 101, so there's a lot of other exceptions. These are not like things that are exceptions. These are very broad principles of economics. Things like comparative advantage, things like opportunity cost. Like these are very fundamental, just like, they're not even, I don't even know if I would say these are economics. These are just like life rules that everybody is aware of. But... what about the argument that the price of X thing is inflated due to government regulation, while when we import it from a country that doesn't have that same regulation, it's unfair to domestic producers? I mean, depending on what the regulation is, we're going to enforce that on imports anyways, no?
Are tariffs inflationary?
Yeah. Advantage. You have low cost of labor in this country, or you have a lot of natural resources or other kinds of resources. You make that product at the lowest cost.
How would you address economically destitute rural areas? I'm sorry, sounds mean, but you give them money. That's it. You just give them money. You pay them out because these people are economic drags and they always will be, and they don't contribute to the current world. So what you do is you just pay them out. You say, hey, listen, if you want to do these jobs, that's what we do already to red states. That's what we already do to rural areas, right? How the fuck do you think we get an ambulance out to Farmer John's house, right? You think his taxes cover that? Of course they don't. It's Jerome and Jamal who are working in an ultra compact city, who are showing up to their job every day, who are in super high density housing. These are the people that are paying. These are the people that are covering for services for rural areas, right? How does the USPS afford? What do you think is easier? If you guys have ever done a where are my paper route lovers? Where are my paper route boys at? Bro, doing a paper route in an apartment area and high density area versus rural areas or even suburban areas, paper routes in apartments were awesome, especially Sunday papers, because that's what they paid you the most for. I got to go to an apartment building where there's like 24 Omaha World Herald subscribers. Hell the fuck yes. I'm making like $10 in this one stop. Meanwhile, for suburban stuff, you got to go from house to house. If you're doing rural routes, oof, that's brutal. I don't even know if they do delivery newspapers for, like, it's just so much more expensive. But also, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's fine. I think it's okay to have a diversity of people that are in this country, including rural people or whatever. I think it's okay to do that and to subsidize their existence. But just be aware that that is what's happening, okay? Like, family farmers are not the lifeblood of America. That's bull. You haven't been the lifeblood of America for decades. The lifeblood of America are our IT services and our dense urban areas that are the king of the chief economic output that we have in this country. But I mean, you know, what are you gonna do? They do deliver paper for rural routes. I use too much gas. Drove on the left side of the road at 3 a.m. throwing papers from the wheel. What does that mean? Throwing papers from the wheel, like from your window? Destiny, the non-apologetic elitist. You can call me what you want. I speak facts, son. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if reality offends you. Jesus, you guys are retarded and snowflakey. I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want somebody to say, but like, I mean, that's the world as it is. Economies move forward. Economies are moving forward. The world is moving forward. You've got two options: get with it or get left the fuck behind. The problem is that you're voting the same as I am in my country, so you're voting to leave us the fuck behind. I don't want to be left behind. I would rather be competitive. No, competitive. I don't want to be competitive. I want to be the ruler, okay, of economies versus China or India, okay? My conservative friend argued that if we educate our population too much, e.g. computer programmers, then we'll just have low-skilled labor shortages, e.g. construction. Is the answer to allow more immigrants? Well, there's two things going on there. One is we've got the beautiful thing called the free market. Oh, Brian, I added you on Discord. I saw you out. So the free market means, ideally, right, if we start to have a shortage of lower labor, then those jobs will pay more. They'll offer more money for it. Some of the largest wage gains over the past few years have gone to low-skilled labor because there are shortages in those markets. God damn. I hate to do anecdote, but I could even say that anecdotally. Driving around Omaha after COVID, I see Burger King with now hiring 14 an hour signs in the windows. What the? Not there's anything wrong with it. I don't think it's bad, but yeah. I mean, if there's a low skilled labor shortage, either I mean, like the cost of labor will go up as there's fewer people to employ. So stuff will either start to become automated, or at least the people that'll work those jobs will get paid more, or people will do that instead of going to college. Like, yeah. I get that you are service pilled, but farmers are still a huge margin of the U.S. Isn't like 98% of the farming done by like big business? It's not family farms, no? A trapper friend of mine told me that unemployment is artificially low due to people leaving the labor force. Is there any truth to this? How can I counter that? It's just...
And then you trade with...
It's like the same talking points over and over again. When you talk about unemployment, okay? Shorthand, economists talk about a thing called unemployment, okay? Just remember these two terms, U3 and U6. There are different ways to measure unemployment, okay? Commonly, we refer to something called unemployment. It's the U3 unemployment number. What the U3 unemployment number does is it discludes people that aren't seeking work. The reason why is because if somebody's not looking for work, why would you include them in unemployment, right? If you've got 20% unemployment, but like a lot of people just don't feel like working because they're either economically fine, they're in school, they're retired, whatever. Why the fuck do you include these people, right? So you've got like your U3 and this is the number that everybody talks about when they talk about unemployment for good reason. That's why. Now, sometimes conservatives or other equally stupid people will come out of the woodwork and they'll be like, oh, well, actually, real unemployment, and you look at labor force participation rate, it's actually, well, okay. Labor force participation rate and other types of unemployment measures are measuring different things. For instance, the age of a society. As more and more people get older and leave, I need to check this. I don't know if I think this might include retired workers. This is the percentage of a country's working age population that is employed or actively seeking work. Working age. Does this cut off for retirement? That's what I need to find out. Hold on. Oh, it is 50 to 64. But like as more and more people get older, you're less likely to find people working at like at the higher age brackets. Even past like 55, they're less likely to work. You might be more likely to find people working at lower age brackets. If you want to talk about like the labor force participation rate, or if you want to talk about like the U6 or some other measure unemployment, you can do that. That's fine. But unless there's been some huge divergence in the numbers recently, which there hasn't been, to pretend that there's like some huge thing going on here is stupid. Is there a way that I can overlay the U3 and the U6 on this? Yeah, actually, and I really shouldn't even grant that because I don't even know if labor force participation rate is down. I'm not even sure if that's true. Oh, yeah, okay. I didn't even know this number existed. Oh, so look, even I learned something. So there's something called, I guess, for prime age? Because I figured there's probably people around 60 that retire, but they're not at 64 yet. So this is measuring 25 to 54. And your percentage of employed people here looks like it's about as high as it's ever been. But there is no unemployment crisis in this country. It's just not, that's just not real. So when people talk about like immigrants stealing jobs, like what job, bro? We have like a labor, I'm pretty sure we're still technically considered in a labor shortage right now. Watching Destiny have takes like this makes me realize he is more out of touch than I give him credit for. Aaron Pitts, What the fuck did I just say that was wrong? What was so what was so troubling to you that you don't understand? Tell me, we'll explain. I'll teach you for free right now. What do you have trouble understanding? We're waiting. Oh, also, hold on. I was completely wrong about this family farms thing. 1 second. I felt like I read this at some point, but this is not true. Our research found that family farms remain a key part of U.S. agriculture, making up 98% of all farms and providing 88% of production. So then I thought maybe it was just huge family farms are the ones that are running everything. But then it says most farms are small family farms, and they operate almost half of U.S. farmland while generating 21% of production. So no, never mind. Family farms are a big part of the... Although they do get a lot of subsidies, I think, as well. But not that there's anything wrong with that. How do you prevent low-skilled labor shortages if societally we're pushing more and more into higher education? Like, should some people just not try for college even though it provides the best long-term wealth? My conservative friend asked this and I couldn't answer. I mean, it's okay. Not everybody has to do like ultra high-skill labor. And as more people move into high-skilled labor, ideally, or I mean, theoretically, low-skill wages should increase because there's a tighter market to draw from, right? As supply increases, then cost for that labor should increase. Some of it will also be automated as well, right? Like a lot of restaurants, almost every fast food restaurant that I walk into now, or at least on the McDonald's, have like the automated ordering boards and stuff. That's probably replacing a worker or two, maybe, right? To be honest, there's been a huge amount of layoffs on the tech sector, so I would assume that there is an oversupply of labor. Shut the fuck up, bro. Tech overhired like crazy during COVID. You motherfuckers making money hand over fist. It was disgusting. The fuck out of here, bro. Tech labor, like during COVID or right after, was insane. You knew it was fucking insane. Okay, you did working like 7 jobs remotely at the same time, making like $450K a year. Get the fuck. And I know this, I'm being a bit hyperbolic, but I mean, there were tons of like hirings for tech and shit, and it was pretty obvious. There's probably going to be some layoffs afterwards. Like, genuinely curious, is your thought that there will always be some kind of low skill labor, regardless of how advanced technology advances? Probably. Like there's like it's called the lump of labor fallacy. I feel like I read this in Capital when I read like the 2 chapters of it forever ago, and I was like, this is so dry. Or maybe I read this about Marx. Can somebody tell me if I'm making this up or not? I've said it a few times, somebody's corrected me, but maybe. Didn't Marx theorize that like sewing looms would put out of business so many low-skilled laborers that capital would become so advanced that people would run out of work to do? Like, I think even Marx thought that. No? Can somebody link me that? So when I say that, I feel like I'm speaking from more authority than just I feel like I remember reading. So people have been saying this forever, right? Automated driving is going to put all of our people out of bed. Automated order machines are going to put, like, this is a lump of labor fallacy. There's always more work to do. We're so good at finding work to do. Can you expand on paying out the unproductive members of society in these rural areas? Are you just talking about something like stimmy checks? Yeah, pay them money. Their labor is not worth anything in today's economy. Or for a lot of it, people's labor just isn't worth as much. So you pay them out. Just do wealth transfers, right? If you want to live in a farm or if you want to do this work or whatever, and it's not necessarily the most economically productive work, I mean, we can pay you out from the blue areas that have the high economic output, I guess, maybe, right?
With other people, and we're very, very good at making high, technology stuff.
And we're a knowledge economy.
That's right. And we're very, very, advanced. We make weapons, we make airplanes. That's what our competitive advantage is.
This guy got his education at DGG University. Correct. We do final stage manufacturing for very sophisticated and technical products. That is correct. Good job.
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye. Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.